on page 28 of your study guide, the heraldic beast is made up of three parts of animals. And the reason why it's been formed is because it is born out of the Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire was one that began to use heraldry and symbols and so forth for all of its different military forces. And it is a composite figure from former emperors of the Holy Roman Empire. The body is that of a leopard from France, from Napoleon. The bear is from the ancient Prussians and Germans, the German bear. And the head or the mouth of the lion is from England. And I'm certain that you're familiar with Richard the Lion-Hearted. This is world ancient history. And as a result of England being in the final role, they're the ones who authenticated this composite beast made up of a body of a leopard, the feet of a bear, the mouth of a lion, so that they would be the final emperor line of the Holy Roman Empire. And the Holy Roman Empire is born out of the ancient Roman Empire, specifically the western half of the ancient Roman Empire. And this symbol is also used for the crest for the nation of England. It's called the Leopards of England or the Lions of England, depending on which version that you want to address, the body or the head. And the monarchs of England, specifically of Great Britain, have adopted this symbol as their symbol, originating from, if you go back and look into heraldry and the War of the Roses and all of the history of Europe and England, you'll discover that the monarchs that we have today in the monarchy of Great Britain have adopted this symbol. This has been born out of and led to what we have today. And today, the monarch of Great Britain is the one who's authorized to carry these and use these on their coat of arms and on their symbology. And there's one man, for the first time in the history of the world, that has 10 of these. In all previous times, we've had people who had 3. We've even had some who had 6. But for the first time in this generation, we have a man in that monarchy who now has 10 of these visible on his coat of arms. And if you see this man's coat of arms, it represents only one man in the world, and it tracks with what the prophecy says. So you will see these symbols, and it will represent this man. Now, if I were to walk up to you today, and I were to hand you, since I'm the director of Lion and Lamb Ministries, I were to hand you one of my business cards, one of the things that you would see on my little business card, the little 2-inch card that I would hand to you, you'd see the logo, the symbol of my ministry, Lion and Lamb Ministries. You'd see a lion and a lamb, and you'd see a little Star of David, and underneath you'd see Monte. And as time would go on, and if you were to hear about our ministry and so forth, you would begin to equate that symbol with me, because that's the organization I represent, and so forth. Well, the same thing is true of heraldry and coats of arms and so forth. They're the ancient business cards. And a coat of arms is a singular business card, if you will, for this particular individual. So if you'll note in your workbooks, I've included for you on page 53, the coat of arms of Prince Charles of Wales. He's the first monarch. In the history of the monarchy, he has 10 heraldic beasts in his coat of arms. And the heraldic beast that I'm talking about is, if you look directly in the center of this coat of arms, let me give you just a little bit of orientation so you can read the coat of arms. You have a crown at the top, and that comes down to a shield, and there's a belt wrapped around that shield, and that shield in the middle has 4 quadrants. In the upper left, you'll see there's some figurine material there, and to the right, something similar. To the lower right, it's something similar. Lower left, it's something that looks like a harp. And then right in the center of that, you'll see there's an honor point shield. There's another shield right in the center of it that has 4 little quadrants, that has 4 of those little creatures there. Well, in the upper left quadrant of the main shield are 3 of these heraldic beasts. In the lower right are 3 heraldic beasts. And the honor point shield contains 4. He's the first monarchy that's ever had this coat of arms, and he has 10 heraldic beasts in his coat of arms. This was not decided him. He did not sit down and say, okay, I'd like to have my coat of arms look like that. See, I made my business card. I sat down and said, well, I'd like my business card to look like that. Prince Charles did not decide this. This was decided by the College of Heraldry before he was ever born, because there's rules on heirs as to how they get. In fact, that little bar that's at the top across the two top quadrants, you see a little bar, it has a little spike, two spike on either side coming down. There's a third spike in the middle that you don't see. That little bar is the symbol that indicates he's a firstborn son. And every symbol in this coat of arms has a meaning. Every symbol in here. The belt that goes around the crest is the Order of the Garter, which is his knighthood. It's his class of knights. The supporters to the left and to the right, the lion to the left, the unicorn to the right, all of these have meanings. And in the College of Heraldry, when you build a coat of arms, every bit of this has specific meaning. The slogan at the very bottom is Ich dien. It's a German phrase which means I serve. And it is part of their motto that the person who has this has the divine right of God to serve as king and royalty. And there's just much, much meaning, in every bit of this. If I were to take you to, if I show you these two little things here on the lower, these have been added to his coat of arms as a result of his particular life. To the right, you see a red dragon on the underneath portion. You see that little circle that's there to the right. That's a red dragon. Where's that come from? Wales. Because he's the Prince of Wales, he's given the red dragon. To the left, he has three feathers, ostrich feathers, going through a crown, again with his little motto, Ich dien, going into it. Now, in here, as you read this, if you were to study heraldry and as you were to read his coat of arms, as you follow their rules on how you read a coat of arms, you'll find every biblical symbol of the Anti-Messiah ever given in the entire Bible, Old and New Testament. They're all contained in one place. You can go to Psalms 22, and it specifically reads the coat of arms, and it talks about deliver me from the power of the dog up at the top, from the power of the lion, and from the wild beast. And the term in Hebrew for wild beast is the single-horned creature, the unicorn. And the unicorn is mentioned in the Bible. And you go down to the red dragon, we just read the verse, and the red, if you look in verse 2, I believe, Revelation 13:2, and the dragon gave him his power and his throne and great authority. The reason why he was given the red dragon is because he was the Prince of Wales. That happened in 1967. 19 years old, 1967. He goes to Carnarvon Castle, and there he receives his title that shows he's the heir apparent. He's to be the next king. You receive the title, the Prince of Wales, if you're going to be the next king in the way the monarchy works. And when he went in to receive what is called the investiture, to receive this, and to receive a crown that goes with it, he walked into this courtyard of this castle in which the entire castle was decorated with red dragons. And he sat on a throne chair that had a red dragon. And why did he do that? Well, because this particular red dragon is the symbol of the ancient Roman Empire. That's the very symbol of the ancient Western Roman Empire, Britannia. And he is receiving his investiture, claiming that his right to be king dates back to the Holy Roman Empire, that he is a descendant of them. And he is part of that lineage that goes all the way back to the very earliest stages of the Roman Empire, even the ancient Roman Empire that came and destroyed the temple in Jerusalem, that he has his claim of authority from it. And what's fascinating is that's exactly what they say about this red dragon, that when you become the Prince of Wales and you receive the Dragon of Wales, that this is the dragon that gives you, are you ready? Your great power, your authority, and your throne. That is the definition of the Prince of Wales, according to the monarchy. And we have a prophecy right here stating exactly that. Exactly that. We're not talking about something symbolic. We're talking about the exact length that is